the initial reporting that a tent facility was being reopened after having been opened under President Trump, Joe Biden is now reopening it, has led to a lot of pushback from progressive activists and politicians. And we wanna point out some of what they've been saying about this. One individual, Denise Bell of Amnesty International, says that detaining young immigrants who enter the country without an adult guardian in facilities like the recently reopened one cannot become status quo for children. Kids need a place to call home. That's why they should be with their friends, families, and community members. This is in the child's best interests. And to whatever extent that is possible, they really need to switch to that. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says this is not okay, never has been okay, never will be okay, no matter the administration or party, which I think is a very reasonable stance. JR, what are your thoughts?
I'm trying to figure out why or what then we can do. And this is where installing confidence in folks will be a thing. So I get where AOC is coming from, and Ilhan Omar and everyone else that has an issue with this process and using this facility. And I'm telling you, I scoured 5 or 6 articles, and I was waiting for the second part of the pushback, which is, therefore, we should do this. Because I had a genuine, a lot of times in political discussions, we have these conversations where we don't say what the next thing we think should be done is. Yeah. So what should be done now? So what's the alternative? So when you have 3,700 kids coming up, many unaccompanied, some are, some aren't. And then the alternative is, and they're still looking for their host families or their family that's here or whoever it is that they're supposed to meet up with or whatever plan was supposed to happen. Then in the meantime of putting all those links together, what do we do? There's humans here, right? Mm-hmm. So well, look, we can't treat it like a number and go, hey, these numbers are here, and therefore put them in a great facility. Where? Which one? Are these built? Are they set up? Is the infrastructure there for them? What do we do in the meantime? They showed up yesterday, you know? So well, that's what I wonder what the answer
obviously
is.
Expediting the reunion with families as much as is humanly possible, regardless of the cost, would be a great move. But also making sure that there are protections against the specific types of abuses that we saw under Trump. And that's specifically about, BPD and ICE officials harassing people, threatening them that if they don't comply with things all the way up to including sexual encounters, that they'll be deported. Exposure to COVID or even pre-COVID to other infectious diseases, cramming people into small areas, not giving them soap, not giving them access to water, putting them in very small enclosed areas with lots of people. There's a lot, even inside of just if they're gonna be here, that we can make sure that they're not doing in theory. But I get what you're saying. They can't magically snap their fingers and conjure up facilities, but we also have to see what is the prioritization? How fast are they going to resolve the situation and all that? How much money are they going to put in? Are they going to be farming it out to private companies that are going to be charging exorbitant fees, which was a big problem with that particular facility back under Trump? They were charging something like $775 per day per kid, as if the kids were in some sort of luxury hotel when very much they were not. So you're 100% right. Those are just a few of the things off the top of my head that we should be focusing on.
I'm seeing tweets about no more kids in cages. I was like, oh, they're caging kids again under Biden. This needs to be talked about. And then at least the presentation of this facility is not that. I don't know if they're lying because I'm not there, but the presentation of the facility is not the same as what we had seen previous to this. Maybe at least for a specific facility. Maybe there's another one, they're still caging kids and having them sleep under foil, like we saw those images up. So it's a matter of whether or not they're doing it the right way and letting people know that they're doing it the right way. But on the flip side, just saying, back to kids in cages, what are you guys doing? We need to have a permanent solution. Yeah, permanent solutions don't come in 12 hours. They just don't. Mm-hmm. So in the meantime, people are still living and breathing for 12 hours. Those 12 hours, we haven't figured it out yet. That apparently we're expected to have this all figured out in. So what do we do in the meantime? I'm okay with criticism and pushback, especially from folks who know what they're talking about. After knowing what you're talking about, tell us the rest of what you're talking about. Yeah. Therefore, we should do this. Yes, eliminate the private prison groups that are working with. Yes, eliminate the way ICE abuses and takes advantage of humans that are in a dire situation. Get rid of all that stuff, reform it. But then to say, as we're trying to reform it, it's the same thing. Tell me why and then what we should do instead.
Well, here are a few more things. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in her continued tweet thread said, "It's only 2 months into this administration and our fraught, unjust immigration system will not transform in that time. That's why bold reimagination is so important." And obviously she's saying don't try to do this in 12 hours, but she's saying DHS shouldn't exist, agencies should be reorganized, ICE gotta go, ban for-profit detention, create climate refugee status and more. Those, and I'm sure she's got a lot more than she can throw onto those. And that's beyond just the status or current conditions of one facility, but there are a lot of broader things we can do that not only will help this current situation we're in, but make us ready for the next surge in people crossing the border. We're always so shocked when the numbers go up, as if it's never happened before. Who could have possibly seen it coming? That after the pandemic gets a little bit less bad, more people might start crossing. So, but your concerns are totally right, and it's a lot easier to just say this thing sucks than what we should do about it. I agree with you there.
And I'm sorry, my last thought is the difference is also during the Trump administration, they would explicitly say this policy is in place to separate children because we want to punish. It's a punitive thing. It's a deterrent. That was the plan from the beginning. That is the motivation behind your actions means a lot. So if there's still aspects of what you're trying to transition from available, get rid of it. Or if they're still active, get rid of those things. Tell people you're getting rid of it. Tell them why it's taking you a week to get rid of it instead of a day. There's nothing wrong with transparency when it comes to something this important. I'm honestly with anything, gotta be honest. But just get out there and then. So the anger at the Trump administration for doing what they were doing is because they told us they're out for nefarious reasons. It's the same idea. They were bold in talking about how horrible they're gonna be. Be bold in talking about how humane you're gonna be and how you're gonna make this an accommodating thing that's gonna actually work. Just talk, just get it out there. And for people who jump on it and say it's back to the same other thing, tell me why. Tell me that it's exactly the same first. And number two, tell me how we're gonna do it differently. That's all. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm repeating myself. I'm done.
That's okay. That's okay. We're allowed to. We fill a lot of time. And we talk about the same topics quite often. We've talked about immigration many times.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.